Hello friends, I'm Kevin with E.D.G, and today we have a very special unboxing. Andromeda's Edge. I backed this back in early 2023. Just got my all-in pledge in. I don't like to get too technical on all-in pledges or whatnot, but I think this is technically the first one I've all-in pledged on. We'll talk about kind of why I did that as we unbox this. Super excited to get into this one. It was probably like my first crowdfunded game to get in since like January, so super crazy. I have a lot coming in. Haven't been shooting a ton, but I will tell you, when I get new stuff in, definitely get it to the table. Definitely going to share it with you guys. Super excited to just kind of hang out with you guys. It's been a minute. I'm not gonna dive too deep into that. We can do that later. Hang out and catch up. But I did want to get this unboxed. I am very excited. I think this was one of my most anticipated games of this year. So I got a couple other things in recently, and we'll get to those hopefully, in the next couple weeks. But this definitely took priority, getting that in. Along with that, I'm gonna be sipping on something. We'll get to that, but let's at least get this kind of out of this massive box. Talk a little bit, catch up. Things have been crazy. Took me a minute just to kind of get stuff ready to shoot this unboxing for you guys. Things have been, well, quite hectic, quite busy. Work, studio was definitely a mess. I haven't spent a whole lot of time in here lately. Hopefully we'll get that. Hopefully we'll be able to relocate this, in the next couple months and go from there. But I did, like I said, wanted to take the time to get this unboxed. So let's at least kind of talk about what's in the box. It's falling out with stuff. So we got a cool little foam cutout to hold some of these deluxe components in. Sleeves, dice trays. I assume that was just kind of protect it from shipping. Now let's see what we can do here. I don't know if we can get this out without making a ton of noise, but let's maybe just, there we go, get this guy. What we got? So like I said, this was my first kind of all-in pledge. I didn't intend to all-in, I think, during the campaign. I was really excited about it. They definitely sold me on this during the Gamefound. I think this was on Gamefound. So I was very excited about it. I think I picked, I definitely wanted the washed minis. I had a couple other options I wanted to get as far as gameplay goes, but I was kind of not sold on, let's see, we get that. Not necessarily sold on, all this extra stuff. I don't always sleeve games, especially when, you're not shuffling stuff. I don't always feel like I need, all the additional add-ons. Usually a very much gameplay-oriented gamer. But there wasn't a whole lot of difference once I kind of added that stuff up. So it kind of just made sense to pay a couple, $20, $30, whatever it ended up being after I kind of had my add-ons. And plus, I think they did, Cardboard Alchemy did priority shipping for all-in backers. So that was kind of another selling point on that. But as far as this goes, I think I'm going to wait on that until I open these. Let's just open the coasters right now. Why wouldn't we? I think this is what this is, right? Coaster? It's not like the biggest first player token ever, right? This is legitimately a coaster. Oh yeah, coasters. Coasters. I mean, I think they almost had it in mind when, they thought about it. So for this unboxing. But let's talk about this before we possibly get this shrink off. This box is beautiful, and I want to talk about that. But I think this was probably a good pick for this long-awaited unboxing. This super cool sci-fi theme. This is a Boulevard Brewing in collaboration with Toppling Goliath Brewing, Elusive Thunder, Super Hazy IPA. If you guys know me, I really like hazy IPAs. I just got back from a trip, and I think the whole entire time I was on this trip, beer-wise, it was like a hazy IPA. So that's what this is. I generally like to show off the can art a little bit. Let's maybe show it off up here. Oh yeah, there we go. showing off some cool can art for this Thunder Super Hazy IPA. This is like, I think, part of like the Space Camper series that Boulevard does. It's got a cool little graphic on the back, hop aroma, hop flavor, hop power. I'm not gonna dig too much into this, but if you don't like hops, this is not gonna be for you. Citra, a couple different types of Citra hops and Eldorado hops, however you pronounce that. We pronounce it Eldorado where I'm from because we got a little city that's called Eldorado. But I'm gonna open this up, pour it, and we'll continue to talk about this. But yeah, I didn't feel like I needed everything initially. Obviously that changed as far as, you know, the last couple months when the pledge manager was closing. I don't know if you guys do that, you know, back a certain way, and then, you know, you get all these pledge manager, you know, closure announcements. I got another one that I don't know if it'll be here by the end of the year. They're getting ready to close their pledge manager, and there's like a couple add-ons, and I'm just like, do we go for that? Do we really want that? Do we want to wait? And I feel like when it's components, it's different. When it's gameplay, it's different. But yeah, I'm gonna, you know, kind of maybe set this guy off to the side. I haven't been yelled at for a while for putting, you know, beverages on my table. Kind of miss that. But it's got a nice little crisp haze, some orange color to it. I kind of like them when they're like lighter and cloudier, but I think this one's gonna be quite thick. Generally not my go-to, but I felt for, you know, what we're doing today, this works super well. Let's maybe, I guess, look through, get the box open. We can go through these components as we're maybe pulling the other ones out. Get this off. These are just sleeves. So just sleeves. I'm okay with that. We'll set this off to the side. Give that a taste in a minute. Let's pull these to the side. I did a little bit off topic, but while I'm thinking about it, I did get the send from my boy Jay. He sent me some really cool stuff a little while back, and it's kind of hard to see on that. I don't know how I'm going to bring that out on that color out, but it's a cool little coaster. Like I said, I think it's probably a prototype, so that's something we get into later. Maybe there's a, I don't know, like a kind of a finish you can add to it and then cut off. But let's get this massive box open. As soon as I figure out, oh, there we go. Now, I think when they did the Deluxe, there was like the retail, the Deluxe, the box art was different. Other than, you know, kind of a lot of the, I think the tray organizer and having all the minis, the additional like Raider minis for this game, the box art like was kind of the huge selling point. Ooh, we got a little bit of box damage, which kind of sucks. I think that's what happens when you put too much stuff in a box. Even though this was packaged like super good. Fortunately, it's not on the front. That would always be the biggest bummer to me if, you know, we had some box damage on the front. But let's get this under here real quick. We will open this guy up and at least see what the extent of that is. But it doesn't look, I mean, definitely all the way through. What do you do? So before we get too far into that, I will say there is a nice little sheet in here. Kind of helps you unbox, rebox. So we'll pull that out. We'll maybe just set this over to the side. Like I said, really like the box art. Chris, kind of that black and gold theme. Very cool. But like, look at that. I mean, we got quite a bit of additional space. Obviously, we got punch outs, promos, everything that needs to go in there. All the extra content was not even in the box. But this was the, I believe this was the art for your standard edition. Still really, really cool. I just, like I said, this kind of was, between the two, I definitely dug that box art a little bit. Especially on a game I assume is going to be able to fit in there. I think, over the next couple of videos, we'll be seeing some drastic changes on the shelf just because I am, like I said, in the process of relocating, trying to buy a new house, trying to sell this one, but I will keep this lean, up to date, and be boxing stuff up that isn't going to get played for a minute. So let's at least pull this kind of stuff off, and we can show what is kind of that top layer of the box looks like. It looks like we got a little bit of work to do as far as putting some of the stuff together. I do know when I was looking through some of the comments on a lot of backers getting this in, there was, you know, some miniature damage. If this is the worst case scenario, I can live with that. I can definitely live with that. But let's taste this guy. Definitely got some tropical notes. Almost more juicy on the nose than like your typical like hop nosing. We'll say it's kind of got like that tangerine, orange kind of nose to it. Hops aren't really coming through. I think that's going to change when you actually taste it, but I definitely wanted to get this tasted before we get too far into this. This is a lot of game. Super, like I said, I don't know if it was my #1 most anticipated game of 2024, but it was definitely up there. And in fact, without going to actually look and see what I did in that video, I would say definitely top 3. Definitely top 3. Not as hoppy. Now, I'm going to say that, but you guys also know I'm a little bit of a hop fanatic. Not as hoppy as it expected to be. Definitely smooth. Not as juicy either as like with the noses. I'm not a huge fan of juice IPAs. It's really not my thing. Maybe like, you know, 8 a.m. breakfast, but not for an unboxing. So the only thing on top after we pull some of those components out are, I think these are kind of like your starting ships, all mixed up. I believe there will be a place for them in the bottom, but we will, I don't know, I'm kind of just excited to look at this box, get into this box, get some of this plastic off so we can see it. This organizer looks fantastic. We can probably talk about that as we go. But yeah, we got some, I believe these are going to be for like your little modules that you add. If you don't know a whole lot about this game, and you haven't played Dwellings of Eldervale, this is kind of a worker placement, comboing, tableau building. There's like NPCs that you kind of have to deal with together. Sometimes there's some quick space dice combat. And then it kind of reminds me a little bit of, you know, just kind of like your Euro trying to race up tracks as you're doing specific actions or acquiring specific things throughout the game. I think there's like 5 different tracks you're going up. You keeping track of victory points. That's kind of the concept behind this one. Kind of reminds me of like I guess if like Gaia Project was a little bit more like worker placement, something like that. Don't quote me on that, but that's the vibe that the overall game kind of gives me. I like Gaia Project, so that's kind of another reason I would bring that up. But yeah, this is kind of like your, I think this is going to hold them, and this is kind of going to display these different modules that you're going to get. I think when you get specific ones, you'll, like I said, go up on those tracks that kind of correspond. You're going to have 2 of those, and those kind of go on the side. So we'll set those back in as we kind of pull the rest of this stuff out. This is obviously the exciting prospect. We can sip and look at some of this cardboard after we kind of get through this, but let's look at this top guy. I'll pull this out of the way, and you know, I'll probably keep going on and off screen with some of this stuff. I'm gonna move this over to the it's a tall box. Please don't fall. Set it off screen for a minute while we kind of look at some of these components, but I'm gonna get this off, and these are like your level 3 raiders, I think, or not level 3 raiders. These are like your really bad raiders, and then I think you kind of have like your little more easy to deal with NPCs. You're gonna have some clear stands that these are gonna go on. I've seen like a couple of them that are like higher. You know, you got different levels. I don't know if it definitely says that, but these are very, very cool miniatures. So I think as far as doing the wash, I'm more impressed with the raiders from what I've seen. We'll go look at their ships here in a second when we find where they live. But yeah, it's very, very good looking minis. As far as I can tell, this is the first one I've looked at, but I love the detail. It's really hard to kind of capture how some of this detail is, but there's just a lot of little etching on it. It's quite beautiful. Is this guy going in, or how did we get this? That should do. I believe this is a promo, so it's kind of a little dragon, space dragon. like I said, these guys did a game you might be familiar with called Dwellings of Alder. I haven't played it, but there is, I want to say like there's necessarily comparisons between the two, because this is kind of like built in a lot of the same like framework, you know, concepts as what Dwellings did, and then they kind of refined it, added a different theme, you know. Not the same game for what I can tell. There's some comparison videos out there, so if you want to watch those, definitely go check those out. Don't take that from somebody that's never played Dwellings. But yeah, this one's huge. I mean, it's probably like one of the bigger, you know, space minis I've seen since I unboxed Stars of Icarios. But yeah, it's got some really cool translucent additions. I think really just pop these minis. Pull this to the side. I don't know what goes in there. Maybe we should look at the little sheet and we'll figure that out. We got some super small guys too. These are going to be kind of hard to show up. I mean, these are, compared to the rest of these are definitely little. They're all three, I believe, the same. This has got a little bit of like an orange translucent on the bottom. They all kind of do. So those kind of hide up under this bigger guy. So we can put this guy back in. Problem when you drink an IPA is like, I feel like it kind of tries to throw it out until like you take that next sip. So we'll keep that lubricated and you know, keep hydrated. Let's see what goes in there though. Should show me. Oh, just these guys, just these little guys. We already took those out. I don't know why. My bad. So we have some smaller ones that are a little smaller. But let's start with this guy. So I don't obviously know the name of all these. This guy's kind of cool. He's got some teeth going in there. It's kind of hard to make out, but there we go. Better on a black background. We get the Gameboard out. Probably first would have been really cool, but we got a lot of other stuff to look at. So these definitely pop. Like I said, that first one I took out has such detail. I mean, I really like that wash. I mean, they obviously showed them rendered in, you know, the campaign. Definitely what sold me on. I was like, man, I really like this game. You know, I don't generally paint my miniatures. I'm gonna get into that. That's something I wanted to get in this year, and then, you know, I'm painting other things instead. But yeah, no, really good looking minis. I think those are all the same, and then these guys are definitely different. I'll have to go through these pretty good, make sure I don't have any, you know, cracked or broken ones, but some of these are definitely, I could see the potential for damage, but we also have another layer. So, you know, I didn't put that back in, without really looking, but man, these are insane. Absolutely insane. I know, Jeff and I unboxed, Primal the Awakening like several months back now. It seems like, just where does the time go? And those were really good miniatures, but as far as this kind of with the wash, it really just knocks it up to the next level. I am impressed. Like I said, if had they just only done the Raiders wash, I probably still would have just paid to get all the Raiders wash. I like the extra detail. It makes me look in. I'm pretty sure on a Dragon Eclipse campaign, I think I got those washed, so definitely something to be mindful of as far as, you know, backing some of these games for me, because I don't, this is, oh my god, this is that unboxing all over again. Don't know how it goes back in. It's going to take me 20 minutes to figure out how to put a dragon in. It's happened. Well, we will, maybe we need a diagram for this guy. Too many spikes. I know they try to do the best on space management. Maybe that's... You start taking pictures. It looks like... I don't know. I don't know if we can get that back on without... Huh. Does this guy just go right back over the top of it? No, it doesn't. So, I see there's like a little spot where it sticks out of. Maybe that's it. Did it just go? Okay, there we go. I think that's good for now. I'll have to go back and rewind it. It's the best thing about shooting video. You just go back and rewind and be like, hey, how was that sitting in there? This one's simplistic, but like I said, I just feel like all that little details popping really, really good. Let's look at this guy. This is like this is a really cool thing I feel like they did with the minis. Just this translucent, I don't know if this one's called like the brain or something like that, but it's got a little blue brain under this clear plastic, and then some really cool like speckling almost on the miniature. Really, really cool. Full disclosure, like I'm going off to like my family's annual lake trip. I'm coming up pretty soon, and if I can really feel like I can actually get to this game to the table and kind of semi-figure it out, I may take it with me. That's just kind of how excited I am to get into this. Another really cool miniature. Plus, you know, some of my like family I've kind of felt like I've pulled slowly into board gaming. Like I feel like when they see stuff like this, they're just gonna be like, oh wow, you know, that's amazing. Like just the production quality, I feel like really gets them in. This one's very cool, very, very interesting. I like how, like I said, this kind of like hybrid miniature of having this translucent colored plastic in with the rest of the mini. And this guy, saving him from last because he's just very interesting. This would be crazy to see how these, you know, come out on the board, be super recognizable when these raiders spawn. And you're like, ooh, not that one. And he comes out, you know, I'm excited. I'm very excited to get this gameplay. But yeah, that's kind of, I think that's going to be all of the raider miniatures. Like I said, super kind of impressed with how the wash turned out on these guys. So, anything else? It's kind of weird, right? I don't usually have an issue with game trays guys going on. I wonder if it's an issue with how I did it. It's probably an issue with how I did it. Huh. But we will sit this guy off where I can find space. Set him off over here. And I'm gonna knock this box over. Everybody's thinking it. I'm thinking it. I'm gonna knock this box over. It's gonna happen. And then it's gonna be like, oh, it's worse than it was when you got it. Let's grab this tray. So that's kind of how that comes out. I know those are kind of like the game tray, like your player trays, and got some token trays, but I'm gonna grab that guy out. Did knock it off. This is kind of like the little, I don't know what they called this, like a station or whatnot, but this is where a lot of your like your buildings that you're gonna place out are housed. Is there additional tape? Is this thing messing with me? Maybe. Could be. There we go. There we go. I will say, I know Game Trays worked really hard on this thing. I can't wait to see what they are doing with their own game when it comes out. Jeez, man, this is never making sure I'm not like not seeing something, because this guy's tighter than there we go. Okay, there we go. All right, so we got these cool little building miniatures. Hard to see obviously in the plastic, so we're gonna pull them out of there. I just kind of want to show how this tray is gonna sit on the table, because I mean these are collective. You put your little leaders. I think you put little leaders in here. I don't know what they're all called. I'm not gonna pretend like I do. I do not know what these are all called. But this thing might. Probably should have looked at this before. Well, it doesn't say. Shows it on here though. Showed the raiders. Void Drake, Hive and Hornets, Morality Sphere, Ice Pirates, Ion Storm, Smugglers, Raider Pegs. Did you see the Raider Pegs? I didn't see the Raider Pegs. Well, I didn't see the Raider Pegs. I think those were supposed to be up top. Maybe the pegs go in the other one and the little stands go on the other side. But I'm not really seeing where this cool base guy is. Command Carrier, I believe is what this thing's called. Command Carrier doesn't have all the components listed out on this this sheet, so go too crazy. But yeah, so we got a couple different buildings. I mean, I'm pretty sure they all do something different after you build them. Give it a rulebook. I'd like to at least know what some of these guys are. This is the rules of play. I don't think it's gonna have your. Ooh, it does. It does. Kind of. How's that for a components list, right? But I know they're on here. Gotta be on here. Development tiles. There's 5 types of developments, so I'm curious at this point. I don't like to not know. Developments. Building a development. There we go. Information. So this is an observatory. It is a science development. This guy right here is a factory. It is a industry, and I mean, looks like there's 2 spots for you putting leaders in there. I don't, like I said, I'm not gonna pretend like I know a whole lot about how you every little detail about this game, mainly because I've seen a couple of how to plays, but most of the knowledge I had about this game was a year and I don't know, 8 months ago. But this is a obelisk. This is a supremacy development. I believe that's kind of combat for your supremacy track. This guy is a spaceport. This is a commerce development. Is there a spot for a leader? I don't know. I don't know. This guy's got a lot of spots for leaders. This is a city. This is a civilization development. So I know like all those kind of correspond with like those scoring tracks I was kind of talking about earlier, but very cool. I don't know if you could show this off a little bit. It's got like kind of a little guide, or just I don't know if it's just because it looks good. I know there's like I think there's cards maybe that go back behind there too. I don't know. Definitely, if Game Trays was involved and these guys spent all the time on this, all of this stuff has a function for sure. Set that off over to the side. So that next level we have, I'm not gonna get too crazy into this one. This is a little, looks like a token resource tray. It's not on this guide because I think this guide's kind of aimed at your retail. This is they call it the satellite. Conveniently holds tactic cards, nebula planetary moons, as well as discoveries, supremacy, and unity tokens. I am not gonna organize this for you on camera. We'll be here for like, I'll be here for like, I'll miss some stuff. I got stuff to do. We don't have time to do that. I believe these are probably your tactic cards. You can go ahead and open them up, stick them back in there, see what's going on. But getting a little parched. So I do know a few of you, at least one person, because we talked about it when they got their copy. At least waiting on them. I don't know if they picked it up at this time, but I know at least one person I know of backed this game, so I can't wait to kind of one of those type of people that could potentially get into like the tabletop version after kind of playing this, especially after you know how to play it. Definitely looks like the tactic cards, so bunch of different colors. I'm not gonna get too crazy on them, but they all have abilities. Tactical information, diplomacy. Draw 1 tactics card for each of your ships in the active region. Tactic card that gives you more tactic cards. But I'm hoping he gets his open soon and we can chat a little bit about what he thinks. I know that, like I said, this is a very great production. I say, other than this little box tear, which I got other games that got box tears because they're huge. So far so good. So far so good. Where do we have... I don't know if I'm going to go through the player trays yet. There's a lot of little stuff here, but we got 6? I thought this was just a 5-player game, but maybe there's 6 different... I don't know. So I'll go ahead and pull these out so you can kind of see how these go. This is for my own edification, like clarification later when I'm putting this game back away. We got a green one. We have a white one. Don't need the guide. We just watched the video. Okay, no, we got a couple black trays. These are... not player. I do kind of like this nice little teal color. We'll have to see which one has the nicer little wash. I think that's kind of like the only disappointment on the washes, I think, is some of these ships were just kind of eh. And then yellow. So I guess let's open those guys up, set this off to the side. I know eventually we're gonna get to the game board. I can see it. We got a bunch of like your resources and stuff in here. A couple of these little small punch board, and then those are pegs for the leaders for sure. More resources. I think these are the coins currency that you can kind of use as a wild for resources. I know a little bit. So let's look at how this guy's set up, because we might at least be able to set up one of these modules. I guess let's go with purple. The ships go in. The ships do go in. So I will be spending some time setting some ships up, but we can at least kind of look and see how these go. So I believe these are all of the ships. Those are, of course, why would they say? I'm pretty sure these are your standard ones. I didn't realize you got so many. I thought you only got like 3. Guess I'm just thinking of standard worker placement games. So not all of the ships are in this. But while we're in here, because we haven't really looked at it, let's kind of look and see what the other colors look like in comparison. I will say, as of right now, it's not very teal. That's not, I don't know why I looked at that. I thought it was kind of more teal than it was. Teal by comparison. So let's look at this. Looking at these guys, the blue honestly kind of doesn't, at least on mine, doesn't really have the best wash. I would say the lighter ones, you can definitely see it more on the yellow, and the white. White's almost kind of a gray, which, to be honest, I wear a lot of gray. I like gray tones with other colors. It makes pop. Green's also, I would say, probably on the lighter side. But this purple seems to have a pretty happy balance as far as that wash goes. So, like I said, might be different with your copy, but that's just kind of how my copy goes. And I think these just kind of snap on top of each other, sit on top of each other. Maybe they, let's see, double stack, triple stack. Gives a little bit of space in the middle. And we'll sit those guys, and I think that's kind of how these guys are supposed to go. Oh no, double stack, fail. Wings down. So this guy's in there. Just put him in like that. Wings in, and then we'll just stick this guy in, and yeah. Put him in right like that. I don't think, other than the dice, which I don't seem to have found yet. We'll set these off to the side. Dice, and then the rest of the ships. Maybe we can just build one of these as we go. I want to say that the pieces are probably in there, and I'm not digging those out right now. I guess I'm not fully organizing this, but we'll set the purple one aside and kind of just put those pieces in as we go. All right, let's sip on this guy. I'd say I haven't had a good IPA in a minute, but that's a lie. Haven't shot a good video in a minute. We can say that. We definitely can do that. So I don't even want to put this back on the table for now. Just want to make sure, kind of in my own element, and sometimes it's hard to be mindful of where some of the stuff needs to go. But these, so I will tell you, don't pull the plastic tray out with these in it. They will fall. They will fall. They will not stay. So something else to be mindful of. But we'll set these off to the side. That's just kind of how this plastic tray is. We kind of looked at it already. Just player pegs. I guess we get the player pegs out. Those got to go in there, right? Yeah. So we'll grab those. Grab all the purple ones real quick. Do a quick sort. I did get some nice little game tray like organizers that are kind of just like your multi-use. Grabbed a couple like the small ones and then some of the long ones. I ended up using 2 of them for my copy of Flamecraft that I'm still waiting on my deluxe components for. But what I was gonna say, super useful. I have slowly gravitated to just kind of, if the game needs organization, like this one has a ton of components. I couldn't imagine if you just threw all these baggies in a box and said, you ready to play? Because I wouldn't be. it would take me probably about 30 minutes of contemplating whether I actually want to get this game to the table with the amount of components in this box. But I do like the way that Board Gaming's went as far as all this cool custom organization, game trays. You know, some of the other companies are kind of doing their own. But yeah, this was a high point seller on me getting this game, is having good organization, as it generally is. So, trying to think. Did I even order a game that had an option for storage that I didn't get? Is this gonna stay in there? I don't know. I guess we'll find out. And did we get them all? Looks good to me. Let's, like I said, this is just kind of getting cluttered. How we looking? We put you up here and just kind of keep going with the flow. What else are you gonna do? We do have the game board though, and this guy is quite large. So we might put this out at the end because it is a threefold. You know what? Why would we wait? Let's take you, put you in the depths of the floor, get you out of the way. Grab a few more of these guys, set him kind of back. This the bottom of the box is a mess. I'm telling you now. I just looked at it. It's everywhere. Took the game board out. It's everywhere. Put these guys out of the way too. So much stuff. The organizers, crazy. Might have to rebuild this gaming table at the relocate. You know, I don't want to, but we could. Might have to. But here is, I guess it's long. I say longer. It's, yeah, it's deeper. So I guess one of those things where they probably could have went with a don't fall out, multiple panel board. But I mean, I guess, like I said, this is a longer, more vertical than horizontal. How about that? That's what we'll say. So not bad. I mean, it's kind of your worst reach as far as if you're playing by yourself, solo, and setting yourself to the side. I hopefully will be able to do that soon because I'm amped, quite amped. But looks good. It's probably would have been better for the background, but I do like that pastel of colors. Just, you know, nice cool shades of yellow, orange, pink. Very cool. Purple. Keep going. No. What else we got? These are the tracks I was talking about. These are probably, I think the tile boards go on top of those. So, yeah, I want to say the tile boards, the little tile, these guys. You guys know. These guys. I think these guys go here. So I think this is like a one-fit-all board where if you didn't get the Deluxe and you don't have all these cool storage components, which I'm sorry, because I don't even know what I would do. But if you didn't, that's what you would do. You just stack them. That's probably why that's there. Probably the other reason they just made it one board for organization and stuff. But yeah, let's I guess we can leave that out. That's out of the way. This is what I'm talking about though. It's kind of, what'd you guys do to me? So much little tokens. We got the rest of the ships, factions, more deck of cards. Cool storage. These little, I want to say these guys, these stickers go on one of the inserts. Maybe here. I'm not putting stickers on camera. That's just I'm not doing it. Some promo stuff or solo stuff, promo stuff. There is another couple little boards. We'll get those out here in a second. But I guess we can stack some stuff out. Grab these guys. Finish up doing that. I don't know if we need to put these in a. Oh, these guys probably go in there. I think these are like supposed to be the Raider dice. It's hard to tell. We'll pull those out for now. A couple more tokens. I don't know if I'm gonna go through all of the cards, but we'll I don't know. We'll go with the flow. Go with the flow. So I guess let's kind of maybe finish setting up this. Looking at the minis, I think that's a good direction to go. These are gonna fall out if you don't have the lid on. I'll tell you right now. I'm pretty sure that is the case. Do we have the little guide? Player tray guide. we should have, telling you, I think we should have got this out from the very get-go. Just dumped everything out, found the board. Might have to do that in the next unboxing and be like, hey, if you didn't watch the Andromeda's Edge, don't complain. I'm doing everyone a favor. So yeah, we got, I think it's like a cruiser. I might have to look those up because that's kind of like your space exploration one, and this is a fighter. I think that's close. I really do. This doesn't. Okay, there we go. This works. So you got transport ships, which are what those are. A fighter, which is what this guy is. We'll show him a little bit off in a minute. Science vessel, heavy cruiser. It's not like I just watched content on this video or on this game, you know, this week or anything. Definitely did not. This is a fighter. I'm gonna say he goes right there. Here's your science vessel. And these guys, I'm pretty sure they just kind of go out on the board. I don't think these guys have stands like the Raiders do, which is okay. I don't need to store stands. And then your heavy cruiser, which is, you know, I think the cool thing about him, he can travel quite further than a lot of the ships, and then also he's just bigger, so he's probably gonna be stronger. Roll more dice. Let's speaking of dice, let's get in here. Grab some of these purples. I mean, let's grab a few of the other ones. The dice look great. I mean, they're smaller, but I mean, we have multiple sizes of Raider dice, I think those other ones are promos. Got purples. Let's get all the purples out. Making sure we get them all. Yeah. One more purple. So I will say, you don't know too much about this game. Combat's based on the like the number of ships and what the ship's attack is, and you gotta like have I think it's like a focus. So like it's like your ship number minus your bonus is like your target number and for hits, and then you're like just trying to get the highest roll. I believe you just go highest, second highest, third highest, and I believe that's how combat works. Pretty simplistic, which with everything else and like you trying to, you know, build this kind of cool tableau and a lot of decisions being made, it's probably okay. But yeah, they're okay. I think they look better than they feel, but I like the little marbleization on them. What is he? Where are you? Yeah, I was right in front of me. Top. Yeah. So these guys will go up top. I think you only get 6. You only need 6. Can't roll in more than 6 dice, so definitely, I feel like it gives you like a sweet spot for combat. You don't have to like overthink it, trying to build your combat engine or what. And then these guys are, I wonder if they're all okay, these are either gonna need stickers or I have deluxe versions of these and I don't want to do this. No. Oh no. They're mixed. That's weird. Oh, one of them's probably so you got this one right here. Kind of a weird shape for this, okay. Hey, at least I can show you how to set up a player board. I'm not gonna show you how every card is. I'm not gonna show you, you know, every single component. We might look at those, huge miss. Should have rolled the dice in the dice trays. I might at least look at those dice trays real quick, to show you kind of if they're worth the add-on. I mean, it's cool that everybody's kind of got their own, but you know, whatever. Not everybody wants that. Like I said, I don't think that was really my thinking as far as going all in. Was I needed dice trays. I went in for the coasters. To be completely honest, this is what I did. And the mega dice, and I don't know. Okay, so that is pretty much a set up player board, and then we can snap this guy. And then your stuff doesn't come off the sides. So if you don't want your stuff to come out the sides, put the lid on. But let's look at these guys real quick while this would be a good opportunity to show off the larger custom. I say larger, but I think they're Raider dice. So nice little neoprene. There's 5 of them, so 5-player game, 5 ones. Let's see, which one do I think looks the coolest? I like that it's got the Raider art on. I would say color-wise, this one's pretty cool. This one's okay. These guys are more interesting. This guy's interesting. All three of these are interesting. I'm gonna go with this one because it kind of reminds me of the box art. We'll just snap this guy together real quick. And if you don't like these and you don't want to use them because they're kind of small, additional coasters. So that's the thing. So these guys are kind of weird. They're darker than I kind of expected. They have an interesting marbling, but they're very have some sparkle to them. But I mean, they feel okay. But I believe these are the Raider dice. Promo Raider dice. There was definitely some gold ones. Gold ones in there? Yeah, gold and yellow. So they were definitely both types. I will say my only issue with I do have a neoprene dice tray for like my chip theory stuff, and I mean the only complaint I have is sometimes your dice can bounce off of it, and I mean those are definitely more for convenience than anything. What is alright, so I'm gonna just grab the rest of this stuff out. Kind of show. So you got a little shipyard paint. I believe this is where this board's for like when your ships get damaged and you gotta like repair them and get them back. And then we have a little event tracker. So I believe this kind of goes around and helps trigger events. There should be, yeah, right here. I'm gonna say it's probably the one with the notification symbol. And I believe you just kind of set that to your player count, and you're just like, okay, trigger, event. So, interesting. Oh, I got you. So, this could potentially get triggered at the end of anybody's turn. So, the more players, the more often this is probably going to get triggered. So, you don't want, you don't want an event card getting triggered, like, twice before your next turn, and then, you're rethinking the entire game and wondering why you're even playing at that point. But so those are what those are. We got, that's interesting. So this is a Flamecraft spacecraft. So I haven't even played Flamecraft. I got my copy in, I don't know, maybe May. I got my standard copy in, and then I ordered all of the deluxe stuff. Like I said, ordered some game trays to kind of put it in, so it really kind of looks like it's, your super deluxe Flamecraft version, but I don't have the minis, don't have the coins, don't have the, what else was there? Oh, wooden resources. And I would bring that up because Flamecraft is the only other game I own by Cardboard Alchemy. So yeah, I'm not used to seeing a door just kind of fly open on its own, so that definitely kind of startled me. But yeah, we got event cards. I'm not going to go too crazy on these. These are going to be your tech cards, which are going to go in here. However these set up. So you'll have kind of how these hold. I don't know if these, I believe there's a spot for them below, so I don't think they'll live here. But I don't know. I got to figure out how to organize, set up this game. I might do that today. I was thinking about shooting another unboxing, but we'll see how that goes. There's some tiles. And then some more cards. I believe these are kind of like the cards you're going to get when you build developments. I think. Because they're like one use, I believe. There's like a one use ability on them. You flip them over. Like one of them just gives you energy. Energy is kind of like your wild resource. I said coins are wild for like actual resources, but I'm talking more like kind of just help you do bonus actions. But here's I don't know what these are. City, and then whatever type of cards these are. I'll look at them. I'm curious. Backings. You know what? I got nothing. 80 tactic cards. That's nothing. I think we already saw the tactic cards. But we do have development ability cards, which, like I said, the ones that have like city, all those are going to be on there. And then not seen it. Faction, upgrade tiles, not it. Destiny cards. That's what they're, obviously these are Destiny cards. Look at the back of them. Kind of even reminding me of the game. So we'll put those back in. Did we get to the top? We didn't get to the tiles. This is probably the best time to maybe potentially do that. Maybe. Put that back in. Put this back in. You know, I may not even put all this up. May just leave it out. May organize it. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Maybe just throw it in the box like this was a standard pledge and then not put the plastic back in just to take a picture of it. I'm not going to do that. This, yeah, like I said, that this is definitely an event deck. I don't want to get too many spoilers, but I'm sure the event deck probably swings both ways. Good and bad. I don't know where that goes. I need the guide. But yeah, this is interesting. We'll have to see what that is. Put these guys back in. Probably separate them out. So I'm guessing some of this stuff's got like a spot to hang out between games, and other stuff's going to be self-contained. But this is, I want to say this is probably solo stuff when you get like A and X asterisks on it. Asterisks on it. Still don't know where these go. Oh, up top. There's a little spot. But one last one. What are these guys? What are these guys? We'll get to the cardboard and I'll maybe drink a little bit more. Well, some of these are potentially neutral ship upgrade cards, but I think there's more than that. Oh, some of these are the rest of the developments. Has to be. Say has to be. Did I open them both? I did. That'd be my guess. Some of these are going to be your additional development cards. Open. There we go. They all do have like Edge Deck M3, Edge Deck P2. So mini card, player, I don't know, standard cards. What do we got? There we go. Observatory up. Yep. Factory, Obelisk, Spacecraft, and City. More City. Well, maybe you get more. I don't know. Cool. I don't want to organize these, so you're going to be a little mixed up right now. But yeah, these look like they're potentially a mixture of... I bet some of these are solo cards. I'm going to guess, but just a guess. Tactic cards. We have solo rules in here, or are they completely separate? Event track, game ends. Optional rules, 2v2 mode, love it. Special region, destiny cards, 2v2 mode, that's cool. I like that. I don't know if I'll ever get to a 4-player game of this. I hope that would be a cool way to do it, especially if you know you have like 2 players that have played. I don't think this has solo rules in it, but I'm guessing this just kind of looks like maybe this is your Raider deck or something. I don't know. Put these in here for a second, and we'll throw these on top. Yeah. Oh, there's much more. There's a lot more places to put some of these cards. I don't know why I'm trying to stack so many of them together. Definitely a couple bays. Why is there a little disc thing that I haven't seen? Am I like completely overlooking some of the components? I could be. It is possible. I have done it before. Here, let's put these guys together. Yeah, event deck. I keep pulling that out. I think everything else is out. I just kind of looking for a place to put some stuff. So, I think the only real thing to do. These are going to be player guides. Maybe reboxes. The problem is to rebox this, it won't be the same as when you put stuff away. So let's look at a couple of these things. So we have, let's pull this out because it's not going to live in the shrink, and it's probably PVC. It's kind of a PVC. So this is your Unity command fleet, which is your solo, I believe your solo mode. So this is kind of like how that's going to work. Unity fleet. We also got player boards. Good spot for them. Yeah, they go down there. We might put as much of it away as we can until we can do that. But yeah, these are going to be your player boards. So they're different colored. Your white, your purple, green, blue, yellow. And I believe they're also double-sided. I don't know if there's actually any difference other than just helping you set your board up for convenience. So you're not locked into what side things have to go on. Don't quote me on that. Please, don't quote me on that. But I believe that is... I want to say that's part of it. This guy's going here. I did almost miss this piece. I just don't know what it is. It's this little white washed... I don't know. We can look it up. But it might be a deluxe component. I might not even know. It might not even be in that book. It might not be in here. I honestly am not seeing it. So I'm sure it will come up during play. And I'll go, oh, that's what that is. I don't know. I might not. But I'm gonna put it back where it goes. Little spot for it. Player tokens. Yeah, we're gonna set this stuff off to the side. Grab the reboxing thing. Maybe get some of the stuff out of the way. So player tiles. This guy's the Unity sheet. That goes under. So you get your player guides. Player guides going first. I guess we could look at the rest, what's below that. There's a little disc thing that I just haven't seen that goes in there. I don't want to cover it up, but I might be covering it up. Let's put the Unity Fleet Command in. How does that go? Yeah, maybe. Can't tell. I like that they did this, but... Did we get that right on? Okay. Board. We had a lot of stuff missing. Well, let's go through this real quick. These are just kind of, I think, your factions. 10. You got Unity Commander and player factions. So I think these are your player factions. Yeah. Player factions. Nebula and Cloud People, there's a ton. I mean, there's just, like, that was a part of the stretch goals they added. They just kept to add them. Dark Star Acolytes. Crawling, I'm not going to read all these. Captain Fierce, Captain Sky, Captain Astron. Some of these are the Unity commanders, right? Yeah, they're mixed in. Have to be. Yeah, these are Unity commanders too. Pull those out. Yep, Zodian, Warmongers, Spore Knights, Sporgots, Shipwrights, Elders of Dwellinon. So there you get that. Pulsar Refugees. Yeah, these all go in here. Somewhere. Looking. So let's see go on top. Oh, I see where they go. I think these are the promo ones, though. Wolf Guardians. This is the one that's kind of a promo off of Flamecraft. So, very cool. I like when companies do that. Chip Theory does that a lot with their games. But these are your little Fleet Commander, or your Unity Commanders, and I believe that's kind of more of a... I want to say that's more of a solo thing. So those will go in. Still trying to figure out what this piece is. Number 4. The Con. I haven't seen it. Maybe it's a... I bet it's a punch-out. So... But those go in there. Got that. These event deck. Some of the event deck goes in here. I don't know if all of them go there. That should be about it before we can start putting these in. It's hard to tell. Oh, I see what they're trying to do. They're trying to call out the corner that the player guide, player aids, or whatever line up as. I don't know where these go. So many cards, I just don't know how they get them all in, but those will fall everywhere. I just can't see that. Those tokens go in there. I guess we could stick those in. There's a spot for these. Little tray. Kind of show how this looks when I get it in, because it's a little confusing for the... Oh, here we go. Number 1. Probe Miniature. That's what that white guy was. Probe Miniature. Oh, these guys go in here too. So, these little... Better be a really good insert, because this is a really small... These are some really small pieces that go in loose. And I may regret doing that, but we'll keep the baggie and put them in later. That should be that. I'm just looking for my little... My player aids. Must be under here. Yep. So there is a spot that shows where those go. Just doesn't look right. Doesn't look right. I guess you gotta take them out. That'll help. 12. Oh. Supposed to go all the way over? I don't understand. There's other stuff that goes on top of it. I love that they put this in here, but I can't make heads or tails of it. I feel like the other stuff's supposed to go on top. 13, 14. I don't know. I don't want to spend too much time doing this, but feels like maybe I'm missing something. But we'll get it close. We'll get it close. Let's put this in. It's not close at all. Not close at all. Let's get through this though, and then you don't have to watch me put this all in, because I think it's gonna be a struggle the first time. I mean, I like the player guide and everything, but I'm thinking it's gonna be a struggle to get this back in the box when I cut videos. So let's not do that. But here are gonna be some of the tiles that are kind of like your. They're gonna go on the board. They're gonna be like your exploration tiles. There's like 3 different places on the board I think you can go. I don't want to get too crazy in on this, but there is, I think the nebula tiles are up top. And then you have, they're called regions. Oh, there's the solo stuff. They're called regions, and then, well, this is where the solo stuff is. Escalation. Rules of play, I should probably have what those are called. There we go. Planets, alliance bases, and nebula. Nebulae. It spelled weird, that's why I said it weird the second time. But I do believe that one token I was looking for probably on this punch out. I don't see it. I don't see it. But these are all going to be your regions. They're going to go at the bottom of the box. I'm not going to put those away right now, because I just don't know where they go. Set those back over there. Oh, I say that, and it's right there. This was the guy I was looking for earlier. And I don't know why I did that, because he's not accessible anymore. But, as you can tell, there's a bunch of stuff. I'm not going to get super crazy into this. I think I'm just going to clean this up for a minute. And then we'll figure out how I'm going to sort this, put it all back in the box. Like I said, tons of different components. Cubes, got to figure out where those go. I believe these are damage tokens where like your ships take damage. I think your modules can also come out, or they can take damage through events. I need to figure out which cardboard ones I need, which token ones I need, and recycle. Coasters though. Let's move this off to the side. Get this. The board does not have anything on the back. It is a standard blackboard, but it's so big that you don't need it to. I don't know. Final thoughts as far as how this game looks. I think it looks incredible. I think there's a lot of components. I'm hoping this storage is really, really good, because it looks really, really good. It looks like Game Trade's put a lot of effort into like your engineering, you know, A lot of different types of trays to hold your resources. I'm just trying to think. I don't think I missed at least any component I can see. So that's it as far as Andromeda's Edge. And as far as this Elusive Thunder Super Hazy IPA, I wouldn't necessarily call it overly hazy or super. It's okay. It's an okay one. I almost kind of disappointed I didn't save this guy for latecation, because I think this would make a great 10 a.m. lake beer on vacation. Like I said, that's really kind of probably going to wrap up the unboxing part. Hopefully I can get some stuff going for you guys. I got another unboxing I need to do. I'm probably going to try to shoot it pretty close to this one and then spend some time getting this stuff out, chatting with you guys. I'll be in the comments. Hopefully I can get some kind of Discord event coming up. I know I need to catch up with a few of you, and I'm hoping we can do that relatively soon. I have missed you guys. I hope you guys have at least missed some of this content. Otherwise, I will hopefully see you guys on the next one, which will be sooner than the last one. That's the goal. But until then, cheers and much love.